This is the jarred J180 in 5.56. In this video, we'll be going over the disassembly of the J180 rifle. A couple tools you may need is a hammer, a punch, and needle nose pliers or something with a fine tip. The first step, of course, is to make sure that the weapon is safe and clear. The magazine's been dropped and the chamber is clear. To start disassembly, first remove the lower pin here. This frees the lower receiver. The next step is to remove this pin here. This one tends to be a little more stubborn, so I'll have to use the hammer here. When removing this pin, go about halfway and make sure you have a finger over the guide rods here, so they'll release with spring tension. Next, you can remove your charging handle by just pulling that straight out. Bring the bolt to the rear and lift up. To further disassemble the bolt for cleaning, the first step is to remove this pin here. That will release your firing pin. And then you can go ahead and work this out. That releases your bolt. So to reassemble, just do it in reverse order. Your cam pin back in. Make sure it's horizontal like so that your firing pin can slide in, and all the way forward, and replace your pin. Go ahead and put it back in the upper receiver. Again, make sure that the bolt is in the forward position. You'll see slotting right here for your cam pin. Match that up. The bolt will be when the rifle's upside down on the top side. Keep that towards the rear. It'll be easier to put your guide rod recoil spring assembly back in. Your springs tend to get stuck to each other, so just watch that. At this point, you want to replace your charging handle as well, because they're held by the guide rods. As you start to feel spring pressure, you can go ahead and let it bring the bolt back forward. And once your guide rod assembly is flush with the back, press your pin back in. Take your lower receiver. This hook needs to go in first to rock it in. Bring it down and secure it with your lower pin. And that's your J180 rifle disassembly.